All right, here we are, we're back. So solving non-linear inequalities. I'm going to do this one as an example for you. Example 3. Okay, so the first thing we want to do for this one is identify what the roots are. Who can tell me what the roots of this is going to be? Let me take Sam, please.
3 minus 1 and minus 4.
Next, draw yourself a number line. Oh, it's minus 4. Sorry. Next, draw yourself a number line. And then place those numbers upon the number line in order. So we want minus 4. Sorry, my pen. Minus 4, minus 1, and 3. Next, we're going to consider each of the linear factors. So we'll start with the first linear factor, the one that has the root at minus 4. So the first linear factor is this one. What numbers will make that factor positive? What numbers will make this factor positive?
And numbers from number 3 to
Oh, you need to not think in integer terms. So he gave a reasonably good answer. He said any number from -3 to infinity. And this describes the integer answers to the question. We need the real answers to the question.
When x is greater than -4?
When x is greater than -4. So this is going to be positive when x is greater than -4. So what we do is on the number line, we're going to shade this bit like this. Next up, I'm going to take the next factor, which would be this one here. For what values will this be positive? I need somebody else to answer this time. Let's have one of the ladies. Let's have Jude. Yeah.
all values greater than
All values greater than -1. Oops, wrong pen. Excellent. So this bit of the graph. And then lastly, we have this factor. Which values will make this positive? Let me have Ranvi.
All
Values greater than 3. So, to finish this off, this is going to be negative here, positive here, positive here, positive here. This will be negative here, positive here, positive here. This will be negative, 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 positive. So the result is going to have -4, -1, and 3. If we look at the negatives, we have 3 negatives. Negative times a negative times a negative is going to give us a negative. Positive times a negative times a negative will make a positive. Positive times a positive times a negative is going to make a negative. And positive, positive, positive will make positive. So what we see here is how the sign of that will change. This is the sign table. This is telling us how the sign of that expression is going to change as the values change. At these points, it will be 0. At the other points, it will be positive or negative. We don't care about the value. We're solving an inequality. So for this inequality, we want it to be greater than 0. So we want all the positive space. So the answer to this is going to be from -4 excluded up to -1, union 3 excluded up to positive infinity. And this is for joining two sets or two intervals. Yusuf.
So why did you put the negative and plus negative?
So here on this, I don't want to mess with it. So here on this first one, we're considering the first linear factor, the yellow one. That one is going to be positive when we're bigger than -4. It's going to be negative when you're not. So that first row gives us minus, positive, positive, positive. Then we consider the green one. In the different intervals, it's going to be negative, negative, positive, positive. And then in the x minus 3, the red one, is going to go negative, negative until we get to 3, and then it will go positive. So we're interested in the result. So for instance, in this first interval, in this first interval here, we're putting in numbers that are less than -4. So this is going to be negative, this is going to be negative, and this is going to be negative. And then you multiply those three negative numbers together, you will get a negative result. We follow? Okay. Have a go at the next one for yourself.